We are going to begin the national recruitment to every county, and this will begin this coming week on Wednesday. And so we are looking at 21,000 jobs. The countries these jobs are from are many countries. We're looking at Jordan, United Arab Emirates, Australia, Iraq, Poland, the Czech Republic, the United States, the UK, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, Kuwait, and Germany, just to mention but a few. There is need for housekeepers, housemaids, people to undertake car wash, and a huge chunk of jobs that are available are for cleaners, drivers, even disc jockeys, watu kucheza sherehe kidogo, nurses, quite a number of nurses, registered nurses mostly, barbers, and teachers, mechanics, construction workers in high demand, paramedics also, waiters, cooks. The salaries are ranging from about 40,000 shillings take home to high-end jobs all the way to 1 million shillings. Some jobs will be going for 300, 400, half a million shillings, 35, 37 to depending on the country also. Nobody will be charged anything to come for interviews. Interviews are free of charge. However, there are some opportunities where people will need to pay some little money for processing.
Modern day slavery. When I tell my people that some of our ancestors participated in the slave trade 400 years ago, you're going to see people coming to your inbox telling you that you are wrong, go and do research, it never happened, our ancestors were forced and blah, blah. That is exactly what is happening today. I never said all of our ancestors, but I said some of them, and I still stand by that. Some of them participated, they compromised with the Europeans to sell our people into slavery. That is exactly what is happening today. That is the Minister of Employment, Labor Minister of Kenya. He is the Labor Minister. He is being put in charge to create job opportunities for the youth of Kenya. He is not doing that. He cannot do that. The only thing he can do is to go outside of Kenya, sign bilateral agreement with other countries to be able to send Kenyan youth to go there and become domestic slaves. And he mentioned a lot of countries, including the Middle East countries. Can we imagine Kenya is sending her children to go to Iraq? Iraq that has been in war for more than 2 decades. Iraq that has been in destruction for more than 2 decades. Kenya has been a stable country. So why do we have leaders? Why do we put these people into office? Because you have been put into office to create job opportunities. You cannot do that. The level of incompetence, and the sad thing is that my worry is that you see young Kenyans clapping for this incompetence. When are we going to stand up and enough of this mediocrity? We should stop celebrating mediocrity. This man should resign. This man should resign for coming out with this idea. You didn't put in that office to be selling your people into slavery. That is pure slavery. We all know what is happening in the Middle East. Nobody in their right mind will send their children to go to like the Middle East countries, especially our girls. We all know videos coming out, how they are analyzing them, what they are doing to them, raping them and all that. The Arabian never have respect for the black woman. But the sad thing is, look, just 3 weeks ago, I was in Ethiopia, the airport. You will see young teenagers, Africans, going to these Arab countries. And these are the people who are encouraging them. Minister for Employment, Minister of Labor, you cannot create job opportunities for your people. Domestic slavery. Look at how he's proudly saying some of them gonna be domestic house helps. Some of them will be barbers. Some of them will be this. Some of them, and then he's quoting the money that they're gonna be getting. You see what he's trying to, like, lazy thinking. You are quoting the money. If the money is that like encouraging, if the money is that good, why will you send your children there? If the money working for going to the Arabian countries, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, whatever, Qatar and all that, if it is that good, you and your children leave that office and go there. Leave that office and go to Saudi Arabia and work for the good money. You will not do that. Your family members will not do that. You will not allow your children to go and do that. But you will send innocent Kenyans. And then when they go there, whatever difficulties they are facing, you don't care. We all know, like, sometimes I ask myself, what is happening? And this is why I'm saying, you see, this 2025 is a year of accountability, responsibility. We must hold our leaders accountable for their stewardship. We should not continue to be blaming other people, because that's what they are doing to us. They'll be telling you to blame white people for what they are doing to us. The white man today is not responsible for what is happening to us as African people. It is our leaders. You cannot be put into office as a labor minister to create job opportunities for your people, and then you wake up and then you go and sign bilateral agreement with other countries to export your children, your citizens there, and then you expect me to blame the white man for that. No, it is you who should be accountable for us, because the European citizens, and this is why, look, African youth, let us come together, because these people, they are never going to stop selling us into slavery. They never. Our leaders, not all of them, but some of them, they don't care. We have to put aside whatever differences that they put, the boxes that they put us in. Let us put it aside and come together and demand accountability from them, because that is exactly what is going to happen to the Europeans or to other people if they put their leaders in office and those leaders are not working for their interests. Yes, let us be responsible. Everything that is happening to us, it is because of our own actions. And then we for once have to be responsible for our stewardship. Let us tell these leaders, we will no more celebrate any mediocrity from you. You cannot go and then be sending our sisters to the Middle East. We all know what is happening there. The treatment that our sisters they are receiving from the Middle East is horrible. And yet you are here telling us how much they're going to be getting. If what they are going to be getting there is that lucrative, if it is that impressive, if it is that nice, then carry you and your children. You also have children. Carry you and your children and go there. Yeah, but we should know, these people that we call our leaders, they are just among us, but they are not with us. We are to take our destiny as citizens of Africa into our own hands. We have to put aside whatever differences that they put us in, religious-wise, tribalism, party politics. We should put it aside, because at the end of the day, when they are taking these decisions, it's only affecting me and you. They will never send their children into this kind of slavery. No minister in Africa will ever send his or her child to go to Saudi Arabia and become a domestic slave. Yet they are signing bilateral agreement with them to be sending us there. We have to come together and hold them accountable, just as the Chinese would have done to their leaders, just as the European citizens would have done to their leaders. We as African citizens must also start to hold our leaders accountable and stop blaming white people and Chinese people on other people for what our leaders are doing to us. If there is ever going to be a dignity for the African child, if there is ever going to be respect, the African child is ever going to be respected, that will come from us as African children. It is never going to come from the Europeans. It is never going to come from the Chinese. Nobody is going to help us as African people. Our dignity is going to come from us. So let us put whatever differences we think we have in this 2025 and hold our leaders accountable. I thank you very much for coming around. Please, if you appreciate what we are doing here in One African Mission, we are missionaries. We are on a mission, and our mission is all about our unity as Africans and our collective dignity as a people. If you appreciate what we are doing, then support our mission. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, share what we are doing, and let us all together fight for a dignified Africa, not just for us, but for the next generation of Africans. Thank you.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Stacy Lumadi. I graduated in the
Give her a working mic, please.
My name is Stacy Lumadi. I graduated in the year 2022, and since then I've not been employed. I understand the meaning of tarmacking. Currently pursuing Masters of Development in the University of Nairobi. And my question is on Kazi ya Maju. It's a good initiative, especially when you're looking at remittance impact on the economy. But there is a high processing fee for jobs, be it Qatar, be it Europe. are there plans to initiate course for those getting jobs, even if it's providing loans?
Thank you very much, Ms. Lumadi. Alfred, you are the owner of that space.
That's a very good question. You see, the whole essence of jobs overseas are for you to be able to live here and go get a good job. Now, there are two kinds of jobs. There are two kinds of offers, mostly. There are companies that say, we want nurses, for example, or we want teachers, or we want riders, or we want ICT specialists. And we will pay for the preparation of those candidates to come to our country. We will pay their medical fee, we will pay their air transport, we will pay money for them to do the necessary tests they need to do at the station and all that. And they pay for everything, and the agency that gets a job will probably charge you maybe 10 or 20,000 for their processing fee, or will actually be paid by those companies a service fee, so they don't have to charge you anything. And those are now 100% what quote unquote free. Those are fine in between. Then there are others who say, for example, in Australia, who say they want nurses. They can take our nurses from medical training college who have diplomas, because they're not allowed to work as nurses in hospitals. They can work in nurses at aged care, making approximately 500,000 shillings a month. But before they go, they have to do certain exams that the Australian government wants them to do. And if you add up the exams, including English test, it comes to over 100,000 shillings. Then they have to pay their ticket to Australia, about $1,500. And then they have to pay etc. So you find that if you want to go to Australia, the Australians say, we want you here, but we're not going to pay for you to get here. You get here, we'll give you the job. And they give you the job before you get there. So when you get there, but then now you have to come up with 250,000 shillings. So you don't have to go, but if you choose to go, then you realize how much you have to pay. Now what we have done is that I have had meetings with financial institutions, and I've asked them, can you provide a facility to our young people who don't have money to go overseas, and they pay these fees for their ticket, etc., etc. And they said yes, but we need surety. I said, I'll write you a letter. They said no, because what has happened in the past is that a Kenyan will get a loan. As soon as they get inside the plane, they block the person who gave them the money, and they don't pay back. So they have had that history. So I have told them, you can't ask for a title deed for somebody who lives in a slum, or who lives in towns where the fathers don't have, the parents don't have a farm or something, or they don't have a car. So we have agreed that they can come to your house and they can look at what you have, what your mother or father has. Uko na TV moja, uko na couch moja, and then they can cost it, and they say, we're going to give you a loan on this as a guarantor. So that now, if you don't pay the loan, they take your mother's bed. So that will actually will help you actually process the loan. So we are trying many ways, and as the president has said, with the BLAs, we are pushing for companies that are actually pay for some of the costs, especially the cost of air transport, which are usually very high.
Thank you. I think we have something else. Can PS SME say something? I think we have another ecosystem over here.
Thank you, Your Excellency. In our ecosystem of MSME, we have Youth Enterprise Fund. And the Youth Enterprise Fund have a migration loan, labor migration loan. And the figures I have, they have processed so far 78 million and supported 354 young people. So this is available, but we are trying to see how do we even expand that ecosystem. Also urging our other agencies like Uwezo Fund. So our other agencies like Uwezo Fund also to introduce that financial product so that we get to support you, to facilitate you, also to leave something behind to your family, because that is always a challenge. Thank you.
Yes.